Okay. I'd like to call the special ONCC executive meeting to order. Wednesday, December 8th, 2021 at 11 o'clock a.m. Can you please call the roll?
Joe Nunzio,
Here.
Karen Robles, Dr. Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes.
Ralph Sorsey, Brian Gazer,
Here.
Jennifer Kelsall, and Aaron Frame. We do have a quorum.
Okay, there's really three quick things that we could go through here because I think we've talked about the last one certainly enough and everybody's had input. The first one is, and Mara and I travels through the archives of ONCC, which was difficult. We've noticed there's nothing, there's no. Hello? I heard somebody. Anyway, we noticed that there's no financial responsibility statement in ONCC, and there's no travel policy within ONCC. So it seems like in the past, it was basically determined by the chairman and the executive director. Hi, Karen. I don't think that's the way we want to continue working. I mean, I understand why it happened in the past, because in the past, ONCC was run by, I don't mean to be derogatory when I say this, but it was run by politicians, and politicians, when they usually, what I've seen, become boards of directors and things like that, they don't usually pay much attention as to what's going on because they're so busy doing all their other jobs. It takes a group like us, I think, to begin to recognize some of the gaps that are in the organization and to do what we need to do to correct it. The first thing is basically a financial responsibility statement. Not a statement, if we approve it, is something that only applies to the executive board at this time, because it can't become law for ONCC until it becomes a part of the bylaws. But I thought it was really important at this time that we have some kind of statement basically saying you can't spend money for anything unless it's directly related to ONCC or it's involved in a contract. I put that in there because I think in the past there's been some misunderstanding as to what our abilities are as to what we can spend our money on. And I think if we narrow it to only those things that directly relate to the operation of ONCC, I think it'll protect us and it'll protect the organization until we have some bylaws. It's basically a simple statement. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to discuss them with you. And if there are no questions, I'll make a motion to approve the financial responsibility statement. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yes, question. Is that only for the executive board?
Right now, it could only be for the executive board.
Okay,
Because
just
in
for
order
clarification.
for it. So Karen, after you're done with Fly Quiet, you may want to think about reconvening your other favorite committee so that we can begin to put things like financial responsibility statements and travel policies in our bylaws so that it applies to everybody. Okay?
Yep, we can talk in the second half of 2022, I think, Joe.
All right. Well, at least, look, the way it's set up right now anyway, nothing is going to go past the executive board from now on. Because what's going to happen starting January is that you're going to get a printout of every expenditure that ONCC makes from now on. So you're aware of what the money is being spent on. Because in the past, again, it was the only people that knew was possibly the chairman and the executive director for sure, and maybe Ray sometimes. And that was it. So this is going to open up our spending in a way so that the executive committee can analyze it and make a determination whether we're following our financial responsibility policy. All right, you want to call a roll on the financial responsibility policy?
I know Aaron just joined in. I just want to make sure there's no other comments before we
Oh,
proceed? Any other comments on the financial responsibility statement? Okay, Joe Annunzio,
yes.
Karen Robles,
Yes.
Dr. Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes.
Brian Gazer,
Yes.
Jennifer Kelso,
Yes.
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, good. The second thing on the agenda is the ONCC travel policy. Again, this is something that we could not find in the records that we have available to us. And again, this is a travel policy that only has to do with the executive committee, but since again, the executive committee is going to have much more input in as to what's being spent. I think this will be good enough to protect ONCC until we get it into our bylaws. Just to let you know where the travel policy came from, it's basically, as you know, attorneys aren't creative people. We tend to steal, and borrow, and copy other people's. And this one happens to be similar, very similar to the one that Chicago uses. It's similar, but it's not Chicago's. It's going to be ours. So we'll be following it. Any other, do I hear a motion to approve our travel policy statement?
So
I'll move
moved.
so.
Oh, I'll second. Karen will
Any
second.
discussion?
Are we gonna use these numbers in here? Because they look like they're from 2016. They need to be updated? Do they need to be updated?
Anything that doesn't coincide with the tax code will be updated, yeah.
Those
I'm
numbers
just
are
talking the
from,
daily, the rates, the travel rates and everything.
that's from the city's policy, and that, to my understanding, Aaron, that's what we would be reimbursed for. It's according to the city's rates, is that correct?
Correct. So while we're talking, let me look and see when was the most recent. That is done by the city's Office of Budget and Management that we call OBM. Let me find that real quick and tell you the current version. That was updated in 2016, and that governs all City of Chicago departments.
Could we instead update ours to just reference the city of Chicago's rates so that our document stays current with whatever the rates are as approved by the city of Chicago?
Yeah, that's okay with us.
That sounds good.
Mhm.
Do you, the only thing I'm concerned with is I don't want somebody to think that somehow Chicago is controlling how we spend our money. And
Well, we're just
everything.
auditing your money. So if you go over the rates, you're going to get audited out.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think my concern is like, I know for the village of Schaumburg, our travel rates, we reference like the federal and
Like the
that way,
GSA.
yeah, and then that way it's just incorporated by reference. And then when they make changes, there's nothing we need to do.
It certainly makes the most sense. I know there's other departments that do the same thing, just reference other documents that are already recognized. So yeah, okay. All right. My only concern had just to do with appearance and had nothing to do with reality. So if there's no other discussion to,
So can we amend, Dennis, are you open to amending?
I'm
the
sorry.
motion?
Yes, I
Yes.
am. Yes.
okay, so
So Karen, your
Let's see, let's-
suggestion is on page 1, towards the bottom, there are 3 parentheticals that say see chart on page 3 for rates. And so you're basically saying we would eliminate the chart and eliminate the parentheticals.
Correct, and then we probably just, yeah, reimbursement will follow guidelines and rates as set forth in the city of Chicago travel policy, and then.
Which
that-
you could amend that to say which may be amended from time to time or something like that.
Or you could say like the most recently approved or adopted
Yeah.
city of Chicago travel policy.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
then we would attach the Chicago rates to the document, just to make
I
sure
think-
that.
Aaron, do they live on like a website or something where we could just,
I have the PDF. I'm not sure if it's uploaded to the city's website, but I definitely have the PDF of the latest version. So
That's where the page came from. That third page is from the policy.
yeah,
that
the
Erin-
page that Maura has is like one page out of our policy. So for example, if you look at the bottom of that page, Karen, you can see where it says page 9, and in the bottom right, it says OBM and then the date of that version of the policy. So yeah, Maura's correct. She's extracting that relevant page from the policy. The policy itself, let me look real quick, is 11 pages.
Do you want to attach the whole policy?
I was actually thinking we wouldn't attach the
Not-
policy because the problem just becomes,
Updating it.
Version control.
yeah, like people won't go to look to see if there's a more recent version.
Right.
And so if you could incorporate it just kind of by reference to like a web page link or contact the city of Chicago, or just putting something maybe on the header of the chart that says, you know, effective as of, verify with the policy to make sure it's the most current version, just something that's going to prompt everyone to look into it.
Yeah, Karen, I just ran a Google search. It just looks like the city has not updated that policy, which is strange because that policy is used so widely. But it does not appear to be uploaded to the city's website. Like I said, I do have the PDF though.
Is that different than what's on the website?
It's not on the website, Dr. Cooper.
Oh, it's not on the
So
website.
the PDF version that we have is, it's our understanding that that 2016 version from 5 years ago is in fact still the most current version.
And Aaron, is that mostly incompatible with the IRS rules? On
Ooh.
travel?
I will tell you that typically, like, all I know about IRS is that we use the mileage rates. Like every year
Right.
IRS issues a press release saying the mileage
Right.
rates, and typically we do approve that. But as far as I know, Dr. Cooper, I'm not sure if the other stuff follows IRS or what Karen described at GSA. I mean, I think generally it's consistent. I just don't know how closely the rates follow. But I would say yes for IRS, for vehicle miles for sure.
Yeah.
I know that the village of River Grove uses the IRS.
For travel, Dennis?
Yes,
Okay. I didn't realize the IRS had a different policy than the GSA policy. Okay,
it's probably the same. It's probably one feeds into the other.
So,
The only concern is who's going to be responsible for checking the rates all the time? You know, you get
Well,
them, you reimburse.
I will tell you
the
for
wrong
us,
rate.
I will tell you for us, the rates have not changed. The only thing that's changed over the course of 5 years is the mileage rates for vehicles. The per diem has not changed. So Maura, do you want to pull up the document? So we can look at that chart that Joe's talking about. What I was trying to say, Dr. Cooper, is that for us, it's been very steady for the last 5 years. The only thing that has changed is vehicle mileage rate in accordance with the latest IRS press release. They have not changed the per diem and the hotel rates.
Okay, when by per diem, you talking about meals?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because that's the only thing,
right. Meals
That-
and lodging.
yeah,
Yeah,
those have not changed over the last 5 years.
Okay,
Maura, do you want me to pull it up?
I'm getting it.
Okay. Can you scroll down?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, so Dr. Cooper, the only rates you see technically are lodging and per diem.
yeah, okay,
The
That's fine.
ground transportation, the triple asterisk, go down a little bit more, Maura. The triple asterisk is a note to traveler that says the full trip. So it's not $50 a day for the middle column for Chicago, it's $50 for the whole trip. Even if your one-way cab fare is 30 or 35 bucks to get to O'Hare. So in our organization, we are most strict on ground transportation.
Okay,
But these are the same rates except for personal car for the last 5 years.
okay.
Karen, what do you want to do with your amendment?
I think maybe what we do is just keep my prior language about just referencing the city of Chicago, most recently adopted city of Chicago travel policy. And then I think if we just put a header on this page that explains when it was adopted and that verify that it's the most recent version, I think it's fine.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor to amend the travel policy. Want to call a vote?
Sure.
For the amendment?
Joe Nunzio,
Yes?
Karen Robles,
Yes.
Raymond Cooper,
Yes,
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
yes,
Brian Gazer,
Yes,
Jennifer Kelsall,
yes,
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Okay, now we need to call a vote on the travel policy, the entire travel policy now. Not just the amendment, but the entire travel policy. So you want to call the vote, Maura?
Yep. Joe Nunzio,
Yes?
Karen Robles,
Yes.
Raymond Cooper,
yes,
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
yes,
Brian Gazer,
yes,
Jennifer Kelsall,
yes,
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Okay, it passes. Very good. Lastly is the interim executive director contract. I think you've all had a chance to look at it and make comments. The comments were made, taken seriously and incorporated. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the interim executive director contract.
second,
Any discussion?
So my question, if you don't mind, Joe, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up, is are we going to go retro on the effective date to reflect that Maura's been serving in this capacity since August 1st?
Frankly, I don't think that's necessary because she's been working off of the oral contract that was put in place that she'd been working on for a couple of years at least. Maura, how different is the current contract to what you're already involved in?
Really, the only difference is the minimum, like the base rate. So, but otherwise, it's pretty much the same, and I'm okay with it not being retroactive.
Have you met your minimum base rate, Maura, since?
It's been a little under, generally speaking, but for the most part, it's pretty close.
Okay, I mean, I appreciate that you're okay with it, but we've taken our time with this because we all have so much going on, and I feel like Maura stepped up and kind of helped us out. And so, it would be my preference that we reflect that, but I'll do whatever the committee prefers.
I'm in agreement with you on that. I think it should be retroactive. She didn't work any less.
I concur.
Okay, so this contract to be retroactive to what date? What date did you start, Maura?
Chairman, I would recommend August 1st because Jeanette resigned like the 29th or 30th of July.
Okay,
That's right.
all right, who wants to make a motion? We did make a motion on this already. Who wants to make an
hold
amended?
on, I have-
Retroactive
has
to
a-
August 1st.
Evan has a question.
Thank you. On the reimbursement of billable hours is somewhat in the weeds, but right now it's 30 days. Sometimes we don't have meetings, so if ONCC doesn't meet, we won't be able to approve that 30 days. Does anyone see that as being a problem? We don't have quorum or we cancel a meeting. It could be up to 60 days. I don't want to pay you 60 days, but I think we'll do everything within our power, obviously.
Well, one of the things, the way we could do it is that she can be paid every 30 days, and then it would be a matter of ratifying an existing payment. And it would show that we are ratifying it.
We do a lot of post, like, approvals or pre-approvals. So we
Right.
could do it, I think you could do it either way.
Okay, I was just thinking we would just approve the payment at the next available meeting, which would likely be 30 days.
Well, so I have a logistics question. Maura, when you ask the commission to approve the expenses during your monthly report,
Yeah.
are they for expenses to be paid thereafter, or are they expenses
No.
that the checks were already cut?
Yeah, they are
Post payment.
effectively,
Yeah.
yeah, post. So
Oh, okay.
the
All right.
expenses are paid monthly. Dr. Cooper or Joe signs off on the payments, on the checks or whatever payments are made. So it's technically not really approved ahead of time by the commission.
All right, if that's the past practice, I withdraw my comment.
That's the way Niles did it too. I mean, the board didn't really
Right.
um,
Our schools too
Make-
do it.
make final approval on any payment until after the payment was made, actually, because
Right.
the village has to run.
Right. Schools do that too.
So where are we now? Are we going to amend this, or? Yes, we're gonna, who wants to make the motion to amend it to make this contract retroactive to August 1st?
I'll do
So-
so.
Yeah,
For clarification, I just want to make sure that we amend both the effective date as well as the term so that we're giving ourselves retro to August 1st, but we're carrying it forward 6 months from, I think now is the intention, because otherwise her contract's up.
Good point. Good point.
So, and if
Okay.
Dennis is okay with that, I will second
Yeah,
that.
I'm fine with it, yeah. That's, I didn't think of that, good idea.
All
Especially
right.
somebody who works with contracts every day, I should know that.
Maura, can you tell us what the amended motion is again now? So we
Yeah,
know.
so my understanding, the motion is that the contracts would be retroactive to August 1st, 2021. And the effective date would be today, and the contracts period would be for a term of 6 months from today. Is that right?
Okay. And then what, do I hear a second?
So I'm sorry, Chairman, to be clear, it's 4 months in arrears and 6 months going forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Um,
Chairman, I will second that.
Okay. Call for a vote?
The motion was Karen. Was Karen
Yes.
the original motion?
No, this is the amended motion with the retroactivity.
yeah.
Setting it on 6 months.
So it's just roll call for the amended.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but who's the first?
Dennis made the first, Aaron is the second.
Got it. Sorry, got a little lost there.
Fun with parliamentary procedure on a Wednesday morning.
And Karen,
Any morning,
Karen, I
Aaron,
can
any
get
morning.
that.
Okay, so we are voting on the amendments.
Yes.
And then the contract, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Joan and Zio,
Yes.
Karen Robles,
Yes.
Freeman Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes,
Brian Gazer,
Yes,
Jennifer Kelsall,
Yes,
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, now let's vote on the main motion, which is the contract itself.
do we need another motion?
I think it was made already,
Hmm,
so we just got to call the vote.
Okay,
Do you remember who made the motion?
well, I think it was Brian and Karen.
Joe and Brian.
Yeah, it was Joe.
yeah, Joe.
Okay, you're recording, so you
Yeah.
can watch the playback.
But who wants
Because-
to?
He gets confused on the.
Subject A and B
We
made the
do
motion
anyway.
second.
All right, Joan and Zio,
Yes.
Karen Robles, Raymond Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes,
Brian Gazer,
Yes,
Jennifer Kelsall,
Yes,
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Passes. Very good.
Thank you.
If I could just make one quick statement, I don't know how long this contract will be in effect, actually, because Mara has shown some serious interest in becoming an employee, and a full-time employee. So what I'm going to do is over Christmas, I'll work on a draft and send it to you guys as soon as possible so that we can get that going. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Joe, if I could just say more, like, really appreciate that you stepped in and have kept us going, and you've been doing a great job. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I would, if it wasn't for Mara, I probably would have quit already.
Me too.
you're doing a
I-
great
I-
job for us.
You
I
too,
already
Fran, you
did and
too.
didn't tell you.
No, you better
I've been,
not.
to, I've been to the bank so many times, they think I'm an employee. Anyway, but I'd be thrilled. I think Mara would be a great addition. She has just done a tremendous job of some really tough situations we had to deal with, just time consuming and complicated and more than we ever knew.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with this one, I'm gonna be like General Robert E. Lee and say that we wouldn't even be considering her unless we thought she was the best.
Yes,
And that's enough. And that's enough said.
Thank
I
you.
I really think she's been doing a great job for us. I've been very happy myself.
All right.
Thanks,
There's
everyone.
no-
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And sweet talk her all you want, Chairman. At the end of the day, she's got to accept the employment offer if you get to that point.
Aaron, there's no old business. Do we have comments from the audience? Is there an audience out there?
No,
Having-
those are my coworkers.
Okay. I knew that. I was just being funny because it's Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll move so.
second,
All right, call the roll?
Joe Nunzio,
Yes?
Karen Robles,
Yes.
Raymond Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes.
Brian Gazer,
yes.
Jennifer Kelsall,
yes.
Aaron Frame.
Yes.
All right,
Adjourned.
the meeting is adjourned. Now we're going to be seeing each other one more time before Christmas, right?
Some of us. For
Fly
Fly Quiet.
quiet next week.
Like quiet, yeah.
Quiet, quiet, yeah.
Not
I'll be
everybody.
on the. cruise
Jennifer's
ship
sad
talking
she's
to-
missing that.
You saw the look on my face, right, Karen? I was like, wait, I got another meeting? Where is that?
I'm like, how do I get on school sound installation committee?
Right, there you go.
We can talk about that some other day, okay?
No, no more committees. I was joking.
All right, I'm leaving you guys, so.
Happy
have a nice
holidays.
week. I'll see you next week.
Happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.